was 1 in 10,000 children had autism, and now it's 1 in 31. Not 31,000, 31. That's a horrible statistic, isn't it? And there's got to be something artificial out there that's doing this. So you think you're going to have a pretty good idea, huh?
We will know by September.
There will be no bigger news conference than that.
This is going to be the one video that you do not want to miss. President Trump met with his cabinet today. It was an over 2-hour press conference filled with some of the biggest bombshell announcements, discoveries, unveilings I've heard in a very long time. I'm not being dramatic here, including the one that you just heard from Robert F. Kennedy Jr. saying that by September, they are going to have answers for one of the most mystifying childhood afflictions that has been so costly. This really hits home as a father on a personal level. Not only costly to Americans, not only costly to infrastructure, to the healthcare industry, but the damaging lifelong effects to families. The numbers don't lie, and I'm going to play for you the entire clip. He also talks about the measles outbreak and all of the things they're doing to make America healthy again, as well as this huge announcement from Tulsi Gabbard about what they've uncovered about election fraud, as well as Elon Musk talking about the billions of dollars in fraud, waste, and abuse. And then the last clip I'm going to share with you is going to absolutely blow your mind. Secretary of Labor and Doge uncover $400 million in unemployment insurance fraud. But first, check out this full announcement from RFK Jr. This is huge. Watch this.
Mr. President, we are working at HHS to advance your agenda to make America healthy again. I'm working with Lee Zeldin to reassess the fluoride rules based upon the August release by the National Toxicity Program of new science that shows a direct inverse correlation between exposure to fluoride and IQ loss, particularly in children. Lee and I were in Utah this week, to announce that Utah became the first state in the country to ban supplemental fluoride. I'm working with Brooke and governors now in 24 states who are advancing MAHA legislation to get soda pops off of the food stamp program, off the SNAP program. We've launched Operation Stork Speed to get the bad chemicals out of baby formula. We're working with governors across the country to get good food into the school lunch programs and to get rid of food chemical dyes and other bad chemicals that are in our food. We've shown now that this directly affects academic performance, violence in the schools, and mental health, as well as physical health. We are working with governors across the country to get cell-to-cell or bell-to-bell legislation to restrict the use of cell phones in schools, which again dramatically impacts academic performance. Today we announced a dramatic reduction in animal testing at NIH and FDA. We're going to switch over to AI, which we've now found is much more precise in identifying the impacts of toxics in various products. We're working with Elon, who's done an incredible job to eliminate the redundancies and to streamline operations at all the health agencies and to recalibrate our trajectory to your agenda of making America healthy again. And finally, the CDC has done an amazing job at getting the measles outbreak under control. We have about 680 cases now in 22 states. Compared to the same outbreak in Europe, which is 127,000 cases and 37 deaths. Our numbers in this country have now plateaued. And I want to thank CDC for that. And we're trying to refocus the press. We've had 3 measles deaths in this country over 20 years. And we're trying to refocus the press to get them to pay attention to the chronic disease epidemic as you've asked us to. We have now 38% of American youth are pre-diabetic. This was unknown 30 years ago. Every child that becomes diabetic, there should be a headline about them. We have 100 million adults who are pre-diabetic or diabetic. And we have, we have now the autism rates have gone from now most recent numbers we think are going to be about 1 in 31, from 1 in 12, so they're going up again from 1 in 10,000 when I was a kid. And we are going, at your direction, we are going to know by September. We've launched a massive testing and research effort that's going to involve hundreds of scientists from around the world. By September, we will know what has caused the autism epidemic, and we'll be able to eliminate those exposures.
So big. Think of that. So it was 1 in 10,000 children had autism, and now it's 1 in 31. Not 31,000, 31. That's a horrible statistic, isn't it? And there's got to be something artificial out there that's doing this. So you think you're going to have a pretty good idea, huh?
We will know by September.
There will be no bigger news conference than that. So that's it. If you can come up with that answer where you stop taking something, you stop eating something, or maybe it's a shot, but something's causing it. It can't be from 10,000 to. Can you imagine that, Marco? That's a big number. Thank you very much. You're doing great. Thank you, Bob.
I truly believe that RFK Jr. is an exemplar of integrity. What a legacy from his uncle being an icon, obviously for obvious reasons. Maybe even being one of the reasons or the main core reason that America didn't experience a nuclear war back in the 60s. To a brother who was a champion of law and order, who championed American values and principles, just an iconic family. And then, you've got RFK Jr., who was abandoned by the Hippocrats. I call them the Hippocrats, the Democrat Party, and sides with somebody who, he's an amazing judge of character, I think. I love his wife. I think his wife's amazing, Cheryl Hines. Everything that he's done, his projects, his career. But long story short, he saw America in Trump. He saw the same thing that you and I did in our president, the people's president, Trump. And the reason I'm saying this is because this is absolutely huge. You're not going to see this anywhere. You're not going to see this on mainstream. You're not going to see this on CNN, NBC, MSN. You're not going to see this anywhere. This is absolutely groundbreaking. And I truly believe I'm giving this my fullest endorsement as far as the veracity of his statement, that by September, with the help of all the top scientists and medical practitioners, with the experiments and research and studies that they're conducting, that we will have an answer. And this is going to save American families. Never mind all the stuff that he's eliminating from our foods, all the chemicals, the plastics, the harmful entities that are banned by most of the world, except for here, God knows why. And again, it begs the question, where were you, Obama? Where were you, Biden? Where were you, DEI hire Kamala? America, we didn't dodge a bullet. We dodged an atomic missile. I can't wait to get your thoughts on what you just heard. Huge, absolutely, positively huge. No, I don't mean to make light of it, but this is bigger than anything. And boy, I think that the world is going to rejoice when we finally figure out what the hell is going on with our children and what's going on with this terrible affliction. Okay, holy moly, as if that wasn't enough, Tulsi Gabbard just announced that they found evidence of voting machines vulnerable to tampering to steal elections. Watch this.
Investigating, we have the best of the best going after this. Election integrity being one of them. We have evidence of how these electronic voting systems have been vulnerable to hackers for a very long time, and vulnerable to exploitation to manipulate the results of the votes being cast, which further drives forward your mandate to bring about paper ballots across the country so that voters can have faith in the integrity of our elections.
I know what you're thinking. You're thinking, Nez, this is nothing new. We all knew this. And absolutely, you're right. And I believe you. I've said this many, many times. If you're new here, there's no way in 1,000,000,006 years you could ever convince me that Tombstone Vegetable in Chief Biden got 81 million votes, which, by the way, was 20 million, almost 20 million more votes than Obama, the Democrat messiah of the party, apparently. There's no way you can convince me of that. And so hopefully Tulsi Gabbard and the intelligence agencies, as well as Pam Bondi, Kash Patel, and Ratcliffe, the director of the CIA, hopefully they will uncover, all this fraud and all this cheating so it never happens again. By the way, breaking today, April 10th. By the way, I don't know if they're going to leave this video up with these announcements. So let me know in the comments that you can still see this. And also let me know what date you're watching this, what time. Leave that in the comments. I would love to hear, because I don't know if they're going to keep this video up. They're probably going to take it down because these announcements are absolutely groundbreaking. These are huge bombshell announcements. But I don't know if you know this or not, but the SAVE Act passed the House to require voter ID so that no illegal residents or only citizens of the United States can vote in our elections. And over 200 Democrats voted against this. How do you explain that? Is this a bipartisan? I mean, this shouldn't be a partisan issue. Who wouldn't want that? Who wouldn't want to cement election integrity? Who wouldn't want elections to happen and be conducted and votes to happen only by citizens of said country, national country, whatever it is? I mean, they have this in every other country. Fun fact, Kamala Harris, just in case you didn't know, did not win a single state that didn't require voter ID. Things that make you go, Okay, in our next clip, we go to Elon Musk, and President Trump says, "Hey, Elon, where do you find waste and fraud in the government?" Watch this.
So we live.
Well, thanks to your fantastic leadership, this amazing cabinet, and the very talented Doge team, I'm excited to announce that we anticipate savings in FY26 from reduction of waste and fraud by $150 billion. And I mean, and some of it is just absurd, like people getting unemployment insurance who haven't been born yet. I mean, I think anyone can appreciate whether, I mean, come on, that's just crazy. Some of these things, people ask me, like, well, how are you going to find waste and fraud in the government? I'm like, well, actually just go in any direction. That's how you find it. It's very common. it's, as the military would say, target-rich environment. So I think we're doing a lot of good and excellent collaboration with the Cabinet to achieve these savings. And it will actually result in better services for the American people, and that we're going to be spending their tax dollars in a way that is sensible and fair and good.
And your people are fantastic. In fact, hopefully they'll stay around for the long haul. We'd like to keep as many as we can. They're great. Smart, sharp, right? Finding things that nobody would have thought of.
I've said it once, I've said it twice, I'll say it 1,000,000,000 times. Elon Musk deserves so many medals adorned around his neck that he can barely be able to lift his neck. America, you should be beaming with pride. We have high caliber, high quality, smart, intelligent, capable, highly skilled individuals serving the American public, not these low IQ degenerates, Presley, Crockett, Hirono, Schiff, and Raskin, swamp vermin like Schumer and Hakeem, nobody's dream, Jeffries. That's my new nickname for him. If you know, you know. Be so proud. We finally have high caliber people. I mean, this guy is the Leonardo da Vinci of our era. The guy has transformed every vertical imaginable. Don't even get me started and he's saving us money working for free. It's just insane what's happening. And these ridiculous hypocrites who are encouraging violence against him and his companies. It's bonkers. It's insane. And I hope these people get arrested. Pam Bondi did announce that they're going to be making a major arrest. I'm not playing that clip because, quite frankly, I don't trust Pam anymore as much as I used to. She made a big claim the other day, right, about the Epstein client list, and we don't know anything about it. So I'm reserving my judgment until I hear a little more. I want to see proof. I got to see proof, right? We got to see proof. So I'm not playing that, but apparently she said this in the cabinet meeting that they're going to be making a huge high-profile arrest related to the Tesla attack. So we'll see about that. Okay, and the final clip I want to share with you is this is Secretary of Labor and Doge uncovering over $400 million in unemployment insurance fraud. Watch this.
Unemployment insurance fraud. That trust needs to be whole for the American people. When we need it for who deserves it. That's not what we're seeing in the numbers that we saw last night, again, exposed by our partners at Doge at the Department of Labor. Since 2020, over $400 million of payments have gone out already. And when you hear these numbers, apparently in the United States, we have over almost 25,000 people who are over 115 years old who are collecting $59 million that we have sent out to people. Talk about fraudulent behavior. Mr. President, 28,000 people between 1 and 5 years old have collected fraudulent payments at the tune of $254 million has gone out. And lastly, 10,000 people who have not been born yet, 15 years into the future, $69 million, and they haven't even been born yet. In one case, they will be born 129 years from now. The United States government sent them $41,000, and they're not born yet. So, under the Department of Labor, those are the things that we're uncovering. I couldn't be more honored to tell the American people that we're bringing back their dollars, and we're saving them and returning them to the United States Treasury.
Absolutely absurd. Unemployment insurance for somebody who hasn't even been born and won't be born for another 149, 139, God knows years. Even if it's 1 minute, it shouldn't be allowed. It makes you wonder why Schumer, Jeffries, Crockett, why they're making such a fuss about Doge, making such a fuss about Elon Musk, raising hell over this. Could it be perhaps the reason they're putting up such a fight, the reason they're being so loud and shouting and encouraging violence is because they are the beneficiaries of this fraud, waste, and abuse? Could it be? Let me know in the comments what you think. Holy mackerel, this video needs, do I even need to say it, y'all? It needs to go viral. If you love America, if you love the direction that we're going in, if you're sick and tired of heathens, rats, the swamp vermin destroying our country, destroying our credibility, stealing our money, and a whole lot worse, you need to tap that thumbs up. Share this with everybody. Can't wait to get your comments too. Let me know what you think in the comments down below. I am racked with anticipation to see what you guys think of this one. If you haven't already, check out these videos coming up on the screen right here. Tap my face right there to subscribe and follow. It's absolutely free. We also have our free newsletter. Subscribe to that too. It's free. Just sign up. Takes you 2 seconds. And as always, may God bless you and may God bless the USA and all who defend her. I'll see you soon.